And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, in what I believe is our last set of the scouting grounds. We here have Tron versus the Hound versus Ground Dogs here, I believe, for you. I am Jeffrey. I'm here together with Anthony. Welcome, Anthony.
Thank you. And yeah, we have Tron versus Roundhouse, and it's going to be an
That's
exciting
it.
final set for Divine. Anything else after this point that's played is just getting people qualified, and this is the last of our organized, planned out teams for Scouting Grounds, and probably our last cast until the draft. So I'm really excited for all these players to get their last shot at impressing the captains.
Yes, indeed, Anthony. Also, good old Jeffrey getting all the names wrong of the teams. What else is new?
Tails old as
Season
time.
2 is new. Yeah. Looking at these bands flew by really, really fast. We see an Alquang, Fenrir, and a Soul band on the other side here, as Freya and Hebwa are already taken away for Chaos. Uh, Pretty standard band so far. What do you think?
Yeah, it's pretty much what we've seen all of Scouting Grounds. I think the logic is 100% sound
Did a band
there.
get skipped?
Yes, a band did get skipped,
Is
and
that a
it.
first?
I think so, and it looks like it might have actually turned into an Ola run. Honestly, being locked in that quickly, first pick, Cat's been playing ADC and now has the Ola run, so pretty big pickup there, pretty substantial.
Yeah, I have not seen Cap play any magical ADC so far yet. I wonder how good it is in her arsenal. I bet it will work out just fine. Odin is pretty strong right now, but also on her against it is not the worst of its kind.
Yeah, and we're at a point in Scouting Grounds where, like you were pointing out in the beginning, we've seen a lot of these bands already. Everything is par for the course so far. I think in this game, it's this one in particular is the last time you get seen by captains. Most of the captains are probably making their draft boards. It's really it's net time now more than ever to just step up and show off. So at this point, even if a meta pick's open, if there's a character that's available that isn't bottom tier right now that you can play well, that should be your selection, in my opinion.
And Honor is, of course, a very big ego boost. If you can hit those impales on your own pillar, you basically guarantee a kill. It's a god with a low skill cap, but a very, very high skill ceiling, I believe, at least. As we see Raijin being locked in here in as the last pick from the first phase.
We have not seen Raijin, I don't think, once in Scouting Grounds, not in any of the games that I have personally been a part of. And it's not that I don't think the character is necessarily like an F tier or anything like that. I just don't think there's anything right now that puts Raijin above other picks. But with the point I just made, being to select what you are comfortable on, if the mid laner for Roadhouse feels comfortable on Raijin and can show off on Raijin, that's really all that matters.
Yeah, I think the big problem with Raijin right now is not having the giant guarantee ultimate that a lot of these strong meta mid laners right now do have.
Very
But
true.
still good poke, pretty safe range, and just, well, I don't think he's the worst. I just don't think he has a good place in the meta as of right now, where we just like one hitting everything. However, having a Thor in your jungle, like being able to dunk on top of the other, like on top of the other team, a Raijin with his poke is a good support for that.
Yeah, Palace said it a couple days ago in one of his last casts. It's a one shot meta. That's what's valued. That's what you need on your team. And Raijin, like you said, doesn't really bring that. But what Raijin can bring is sustained damage in a team fight. And when you're going to be in longer, more drawn out team fights, dealing with a Horus, a Kakulin, you have an Oleron in the back. I kind of like Raijin here, honestly. You got the nice ultimate for the CC immunity. You have a really good escape. You can stay pretty far back in the fight. It might have started as a comfort pick, but somehow, with the only exception in my mind sort of being the Thanatos, this is a pretty good pickup.
Yeah, I don't think it's the worst. I don't know if I love it, but it's not as bad as I first thought it would have been. As we actually see a second magical ADC being locked in here by Tron. That's maybe a bit surprising. I would assume that would actually be Kronos mid then. If they get to late game, that must be a powerhouse. Of course, we do have the Thanatos who prefers a bit more of the early game with the Scythe, as well as a Horus who I personally believe doesn't have the greatest late game, but with a Kronos and an Oloran, I think they would be shredding like basically anything.
Yeah, I think Raijin really needs to get a lead quick, keep Kronos down. It's not that Kronos necessarily has a good 1v1 against Raijin. It's a pretty awkward 1v1 to play. But obviously, even mid to late game, Kronos is just going to outmatch Raijin, so they got to get a lead, and they got to get it early.
Can we talk about, by the way, how many bans have been skipped this game?
Yeah, not really sure what that was. The only thing I could think of is honestly is maybe there was some gentleman agreements before the set. Otherwise, it might have just been a misclick.
Yeah, either that or they're trying to keep open so much strong stuff that they can always pick something, I guess.
Yeah, very true.
Anyways, folks, these are your picks for game one. Oh, who do you think has the better team, Anthony?
I gotta go with Tron here. I mean, Oleron, a Kronos, a Thanatos. This would have been a dream draft for a lot of these teams at the start of Scouting Grounds. Anything can happen in game, but on paper, Tron's got it.
I think I do agree with you on that as we go into game one, and we'll see you in a bit. And welcome back to game one of this set as the green buffs gets pulled towards the XP buff. Let's go, Anthony! We got the 2 buff start on ADC!
For a second, I thought you were going to steal my line and say, let's do it. I was going to file a copyright strike mid-game. But no, I do prefer this start alongside you and Powa. At first, I wasn't huge on it, but unless you're playing something with serious clear, I think it's just such a better route to take.
I mean, we see DrJDM here already taking half his HP with only the 2 buffs, let alone if they would have pulled the 3rd one. I think either one of them would have died.
Yeah, the clear would not really have been there. I agree. Wow, Painflick, very low in mid.
Ooh. So was Megatron, but I think they healed a lot from the Thanatos passive over here. As they're looking a little bit better after the trade because of it. In the duo lane over here though, just a bit of a scrimmage as the waves are being cleared fair and square. I think this Honor does have a bit more pressure, especially together with the Atlas, than this Oleron and Horus will do in the early game.
Yeah, it's kind of the same story as the mid lane. I think you got to get the pressure off early if you're the Roadhouse ADC and try to take advantage of your first couple level advantage against the mage ADC so that you don't fall behind later once Oleron starts chunking number-wise.
Yeah, I must agree. Oleron and Kronos late game are just totally busted right now, and if they get to that point, I think it's over. But actually look at Megatron here going for a bit of a play. But hey, actually confirms the kill in the duo lane though. Thanatos looking for a gank for themselves as Cat is forced to beat. Shell going down from DrJDM as well and just barely gets out. But what a snipe by Hay there, perfectly landing the one on top of Painflick here, confirming first blood.
Yeah, the time rift was actually perfect on point, and it was a really good time rift because Megatron almost dropped the kill by the Scythe, just barely missing. I mean, one of the hardest abilities to hit in the game, no fault there, but it would have been a tough kill to drop because getting Chronos ahead is massive. So in a weird way, it works better because now the Chronos has the kill.
Yeah, I agree. Although you want your Thanatos, if your Thanatos gets ahead early game, he might actually run the entire game. But getting a Kronos ahead does mean you get to that late game faster. So
For sure.
either way, it would have worked fine for me. But yeah, I don't think it's a bad thing Kronos getting that kill, as FlippingNias is looking for a bit of pressure for himself. But Diddy overstays welcome as Thanatos is now boxing him down, does miss the Scythe once again. So now it's actually Megatron in danger. Missing that Scythe, yeah. Missing the Scythe actually kills him there, as Hay is overstepping as well, and there's that Raijin damage that we were talking about. It's not a one hit, but consistently putting on the damage actually means that Hay will be sent back to base as well.
Yeah, it was well played there by Painflick. The biggest thing I saw was being able to get the damage off, because as soon as Hay missed Time Rift, that was your go, and you had to go for it. Now Cat looking in a bit of some trouble. There's a jump in from on her. Impale for a stun could probably get a kill, but it's not up, and Cat gets away.
Minions helping them out big time over there, as Cat gets away. Not quite. I was gonna say with the skin of the teeth, but it's not quite that low of HP yet. They do have a double healing composition over here in the duo lane, so they might heal up fairly quickly. Will help them out a lot, but this Honor over here on Whiffy still being full HP, so I don't think they can fight them anytime soon.
Yeah, Wilfie's a bit scary. MLG also a bit scared. Jazz might have an easy kill here if the ultimate can hit, but the ultimate's a bit off the mark. And MLG's pretty healthy for now, but falling low, tanking the minions. Gets to tower, not in time. Jazz gets the kill.
MLG going in after taking that much poke, it's a surprising decision to say the least. Doesn't work out for them. Just a bit unfortunate as Jazz now gotta be careful as Thanatos is coming over, but there's an entire minion wave to deal with, so they would just walk out fine. Mid lane. Uh-oh. Tor coming down as well, ult off the mark, but the stun is great as Hay will fall down towards FlippingNias here.
Cat's low in mana, so is DrJDM. And Kana and Wilfie were looking to push for it, but there just wasn't an opening there. Might have been a double kill for Roadhouse if they had just been slightly more pushed up, but they do get some lane pressure out of this, which continues to be the theme in duo.
Yeah, it does look like the case. We're 5 minutes in, 5 kills already on the board. Now the team is taking it slow, but it's definitely Roadhouse coming on top so far, which at least I did expect. They have the better early game. Ooh. Oh, the dash in under tower, you're level 6. I don't know if that's the smartest idea, but Megatron does get a kill onto FlippingNias in the back. I would have actually... Would it be a too ballsy call to say that I would actually like to see Hay trying to go in a little bit more aggressive, even if you're that low HP, onto Painflick there. Level 6 tower diving as a Raijin. Yeah. They were dead.
I mean, cooldowns weren't up and the rewind wasn't available, but I agree. I think Hay could have maybe at least looked to see if there was a possibility of getting a time rift off. I mean, even if it was down, the cooldown's so low. Try to throw one out. Maybe combine with the tower, it's just enough to kill Painflick and punish them for playing that aggressive. I mean, we can't see everything that Hay can see from the same perspective. We don't have all the same information, but from up here, it looked like Hay could have been a little bit more aggressive.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. They were very low HP and they wanted to save their own life as well, but trading your life for a kill on Kronos, I think it's worth getting to the late game faster.
Wow.
Ooh, Hey, helping out their jungler big time as Megatron gets out with no HP whatsoever. Hey, getting the double kill actually on Painflick here, and you now got a fat Kronos on your hands.
Yeah, that was the awareness there. We just talked about Hay could have played more aggressive. That was the exact aggression we're talking about. It was paid dividends in full. Hay played that perfectly. The rotation to save Thanatos was fantastic. Obviously, the nice rotation from DrJDM, not DrDJM, like I said last cast, was really good. Set up Hay for the easy kill. And now Kronos has 3 kills, and Book of Thoth is on its way to being stacked before 10 minutes.
Yeah, these are the kind of plays that actually can get you drafted, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's exactly the kind of thing the captains are looking for. Is if your support's rotating and your jungler is in trouble, and the difference is split, how are you going to react to keep your team safe? And Hay played it perfectly. So if I'm a captain, that's a huge green flag to me of saying, hey, Hay's awareness of the map is spectacular.
Yeah, I'm great player. I've seen them. I've casted them before. I think they're pretty good. Wouldn't surprise me to see them get drafted. Sorry, they're already being casted. Actually, hold that thought though, as Wilfie will get a kill here onto Cat. I was gonna say solo kill. Of course, it's not a solo kill. Tor is there as well as the support getting an ult down, and both the duo lane from Tron will fall down here, as it's actually Kana getting a kill for themselves. I don't think they meant to take that last hit, but a kill is a kill.
Yeah, definitely not. I mean, wow. Before I could even click over there, because I had a cough, there's a solo kill in the solo lane. Nice pickup for Jazz. Not an easy solo kill, but then you can now get a big fight in the mid lane. Hay falling down low, pulled in by Kana into the ultimate from Painflick, and Hay falls down.
Ooh, but Thanatos is not done with this yet, as they are blinking in, going up in the sky now. Jump is down, so that will be a confirmed execute, but now you're very low, as Flipping Knees will actually confirm the trade-off kill.
It was so close. It really looked for a second like that execute could be enough for MysticMegatron to keep fighting and maybe even look to get another kill, but hey, getting a return kill off of that after the dive is honestly a victory, and it was a nice play by Megatron.
Yeah, very well played indeed. Good stuff by actually blinking in first, forcing the dash so you can actually confirm your execute instead of going for it and then missing it and dying with nothing.
Yeah, I agree. You know, this matchup in duo lane is something I want to point out. UhhKatt is one of the newer players in the league, has had a bit of a rougher time so far in Scouting Grounds. I definitely think some of the experience is showing, but there has definitely been, and we talked about this off cast, actually he's going to have to wait, because now Hay gets punished for going in hard on Kana. Painflick goes in, but now Painflick is the one in trouble, falling down low. MysticMegatron picks up the kill, going to look for more onto the Atlas, but that dash should keep him safe.
Ooh.
Bastion takes the scythe, and plenty safe. So let's go back to dual lane. Desert Fury. Slow's coming out. The slow keeps him safe. Atlas falls in the back to Kronos. They're fighting across the map, Jeffrey. They don't want us to talk.
I don't even know what to say anymore. Great ultimate by UhhKatt here, saving her life just barely, as well. Wilfie did everything he could by ulting after it. The CC immunity helping out a lot, but just barely, not enough to actually confirm the kill. I'm surprised UhhKatt lived that.
Yeah, and that's
Fate coming off now.
That's exactly what I was talking about. UhhKatt has had a rough Scouting Grounds if you look at statistics, but if you look at gameplay, if you look at mechanics, the mechanics are there. I think if you get some experience online with this Oleron, it can make a huge difference in UhhKatt's playstyle going forward, and could make her somebody that come mid-season could be a very undervalued player, depending on what team she's on.
Yeah, might be a hot take, might not be, but I'm a big UhhKatt fan over here. Like you were saying before, we talked a little bit off cast, and we were both saying she has the mechanics to be one of the mid, if not upper table ADCs in this league. However, I think she lacks a little bit of conquest experience. So maybe if she gets a captain that can actually, well, help her with when to rotate and when not to, she could be a pretty good player.
And that could be said for a lot of ADCs. I mean, you can even look at some of the best, most accomplished ADCs in the SPL. You get them a really good support who knows what's going on, and you can elevate even the best of players to being something otherworldly. What comes to mind instantly, obviously, is like a Barracuda Jeff Hindlow, where you have two of the best players independently, but together they made just one of the nastiest duos that we saw. You get a support like that with Kat, and you can completely change her as a player.
Yeah, and then just hope nothing like energy happens to you.
Very true. We do see Wilfy pick up the kill onto Kat. Flippin' Ninjas was looking for a gank anyway, so it would have been tough to survive, but now Megatron going into the ultimate.
Flipping Nia's going up into the sky after it though. Megatron landing early, so that means there's still enough time for Tol to actually go on top of it. As now, multiple ultimates coming out. Flipping Nias will confirm the first kill onto Megatron here, but the fight is not over yet. I think the stun from Kronos, sorry, just a little bit off the mark, will actually mean that Flipping Nias will survive here, as well as Painflick. And it's a 1-for-1.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised more people didn't die there. I mean, realistically, that was a really nice response to the gank from Tron. They did lose MysticMegatron, but they denied any attempt at a Gold Fury due to the fight and the damage done. So overall, it was a pretty nice play from both sides, which has kind of been a theme this game.
Yeah, both sides fighting very much and very well. It's a bit of an arena game, but well, you love to see it sometimes, you know.
Hey, that makes it more fun. Show off the skills.
As long as it's not a stomp from one side to the other, it's not a boring game, and I like kills. You know, we have something to talk about, we have something to cast. I'm not complaining.
Completely agree. Oh no, Kat gets stuck with the impale, and now the on her crits are pulling through, and the slow-mo gets the kill. Not an easy 1v1 there on her, one of the best 1v1 gods in the game. Back to the solo lane, Flippin' Ninjas looking for a gank onto MLG, but MLG with some really nice awareness thanks to a deep ward at their own blue buff will keep them safe.
Yeah, and I want to go back to something I said while they were picking still. Looking at this on her, it's just, you know, the high skill ceiling like I was talking about before. Hold that thought though, Flipping Knee is going up into the sky. Directly onto Megatron. Megatron falls down very quickly because of it. And now it's Jazz in problem. Jazz actually already falling down before I could finish this. MLG gets a kill off himself onto Flipping Nias here. And Kronos, hey, in trouble. Painflick, great ultimate, but actually that Kronos damage does so much as MLG actually confirms the kill for his Kronos. Great shell! Lives for now. Sorry, it's not shell, it was the Horse ult actually saving them. How are they alive? As MLG gets a triple kill. Atlas falling down last there. How is the Kronos alive?
I don't know how that went from what could have been a solo lane wipe to a 3-man kill on the 3-person rotate. That was I'm perplexed. That was so well played by MLG. I thought there was no chance of survival, especially after the nasty Thor arrival by Flippin' Ninjas. But no, they responded perfectly, and now it turns into a Pyromancer. So well done.
Yeah, all of Roadhouse thought, let's go wreak some havoc into the solo lane, and they paid for it with big prices. They all fell down. This Kronos, like I said, they got fed early game. They already have the Polymolecon online as well. They're doing so much damage.
Yeah, that Kronos is going to be a problem going forward. The Karen's coin online, getting those stacks, and UhhKatt ran into Thor in the jungle on the way back to the dual lane. He gets caught out and falls down. Now it's a 2v2 in the jungle. Support and mid are on the way, but also now we get a rotation coming in from Wilfy, and Flippin' Ninjas is up into the sky.
Hits the ult once again onto Megatron, but they are into the sky themselves. I think they will go out. I would not advise them to go in here, and it's... Uh-oh. Hey. Behind you!
Not from behind!
Behind you! Does not get the rewind off as Flipping Hands will confirm the kill. Great rotation. I meant great rotation by Wilfy here, as they actually sneak up behind Hay and stun them, confirm the kill.
Ooh, and now it's a good attempt for a steal here. DrJDM is setting up for it. Gold Fury low. Ultimate's got to get down in time though, and there's Desert Fury, not in time. Roadhouse gets a Gold Fury.
And now they are in danger. I think already ulted in, but Horse having a lot of mobility and teammates around them, so they can back off just in time. If you live like you did here, I think it's a great attempt to steal it. I don't think you get that very soon, but then again, we already saw my ex-partner Joywolf steal
Yeah.
Gold Fury with Solar Flare on Capri before, so, you know, anything is possible.
Yeah, I want to talk about the death there for Oleron and what set up that team fight, and try to talk about the not necessarily the individual player mechanics, but talk about something else, which is team coordination. And it looks like Tron might have called. Actually, hang on, Flippin' Ninja's ults in. Hammer of Anvil finds nobody home, though. My turn to retreat as Hay is doing numbers on the Chronos.
The Numbi is coming out from Kronos. It's actually in the backline here. Is Thanatos going up in the sky now as well?
Nice
That's already
Aegis.
down, but there comes the Aegis. And now you're on the tower. You don't get a kill, so...
Painflick gets a
already
double
almost dead.
kill.
Hay falling down as well, and in the backline, it's the Horse here. They're low. It's only the Atlas going down on it, so it does not do enough damage. MLG gets the kill on himself. Great rotation by them. Falling down low. His cat is actually here in mid as well. Coming down just a little bit late onto this mid lane. I would have preferred to see them farm up in their own lane
I agree.
and get a bit of XP as they're already 4 levels down.
That's exactly what I was about to talk about right before that fight. I think the calls... I'm going to assume that Cat is being called over for these rotations from whoever is making the shot calls. I think that the calls have been slightly off in what to do with the Oleron. I think bringing Cat to the Pyromancer was not needed. Then Cat had to take an aggressive path to hurry back to lane because Onher was taking tower. Cat got caught out by Thor, and then calling Cat over for this fight, to your point, took away Cat from even more farm. In what was a couple of minutes ago just a 1-level lead, has now kind of spiraled out of control, and now Cat's going to have a really tough time in lane. So that goes with what we're saying. Cat is a player who has fantastic mechanical skill. Get her the right comms, right leader, and get some practice, and you could have a scary ADC. But in this particular Scouting Grounds game, it's going to be an uphill battle from here on out.
Yeah, and well, rewinding back about 5 minutes ago, what I wanted to talk about with Wilfie here, I think Honor is a big comfortable pick for them. As well, I think on the third or the second kill onto Cat they got, we saw the pillar with the stun combination that Honor is so well known for. That's not easy to hit, but Holter fought once again here in mid lane as the next fight is already coming down. Hay low, Aegis coming out, but is it going to be enough? Raijin dashing in to actually confirm the kill onto Hay here. It's not over yet, as Flipping Ninja throws down the hammer. Not connecting, but once again, here's MLG.
MLG could kill everybody here, goes in deep, finds Painflick, already down half health. Now MLG playing aggressive Cats here, nice ultimate, slowing everybody down, but DrJDM is low, and Desperate Fury helps secure the kill with Jazz, getting the credit. Now MLG is low, gonna try to front line, but only has so much health to tank, as the teams are split, and somehow Wilfie's still getting kills, and Flippin' Ninja finds MLG.
And it's a 4-for-1. Once again, it's the entirety of Roadhouse going in, and this time it's not a 4-man sweep on their side. They actually get a 4-man sweep onto Tron. Must be a bit of a nicer feeling than what happened into solo. Things working out this time as they're looking for the Pyromancer, and this should be pretty much free.
Yeah, it was a split call there. We saw MLG go in, manage to keep 4 members under control and low, and Tron was just so low that they were under their tier 1 tower, but they were grouped and low. And Wilfie, being so ahead, having those rage stacks, even though it wasn't max at the start of the fight, just did so much damage it couldn't compete. Speaking of the damage, did you see that Polynomicon? Did you see that hammer? Did you see that Raijin ult? Goodbye, Hay. Tough time to be in the mid lane.
Yeah, Hay trying to show dominance here, but actually gets dunked on by Thor here with the stun from the 2 as well. Great wall, great hammer, and they absolutely get deleted with Raijin ult coming out as well. You're not living through that. You're not getting rewind off. You're dead.
You know, I think this Raijin is playing exactly how I would have expected. It's doing well. It's outputting damage, 12k on the charts. It's builds online. The KDA is more than acceptable, but it's not incredibly impactful. I'm kind of curious because Pain seems like a fantastic mid laner. Next game, I'd like to potentially see a different pickup. Now Pain falling low, gonna have to use that Aegis, doesn't matter anyway. DrJDM secures the kill.
Cat in trouble once again. Shell coming out, but it's actually Atlas running at them. Atlas being the same level. That's Aegis coming down as well. Now the focus is changed onto Flipping Ninjas. Cat does fall down in the backline, But now it's 3 people running at Flipping Neos. Flipping Neos does get out by the looks of it, but it's actually Megatron into the sky. But Flipping Neos have an ultimate off themselves, but they get counter ultimate. They do get counter ultimate. Actually die because of it, but they got a big stun off, and now the fight is open.
Wilfy split in the back, taking on MLG. On the front side of the screen, we can see 3 members grouped and doing damage to Kana, but MLG's left alone with Jazz, but doing some okay damage. MysticMegatron's got to get in there, though, followed by Hey. MLG sticking on the hunt for Jazz, might find the kill now that Hey is there. Kana falls. Jazz should be next. MLG gonna jump for it. Can he find it?
Actually gets the heal. Jazz gets the heal off from the 2, as now Raijin's just pulling over this MLG with the ultimate.
Gonna be
big
close.
Damage.
Jumps over!
Jazz, what you doing?
Can he get away from this? No way. Hey,
Takes a
low
tower
on the
shot.
left side. It's going to be really close. Hey falls down to Wilfy, but MLG surviving
Still
for now.
over.
MysticMegatron shuts down Wilfy. MLG survives! Wow!
The juking shoes. The juking shoes coming out here from MLG as they ran over practically the entire map and live. And now it's Tron putting the Gold Fury as their... Well, the entirety of Roadhouse was focused there on getting MLG. Is this going to be a free Gold Fury? No, it's not. Flipping Nias up into the sky. Gets a double land. Actually steals the Gold Fury as well. Painflick getting a kill off themselves. What a ultimate by Flipping Nias there.
You know, last season, Flippin' Ninjas played a lot of support, and I think the support brain is still deep in there despite Flippin' Ninjas running Thor jungle right now, because that steal was so perfectly timed.
That's a fight I don't think you want to take, but with Raijin there, it might be possible. Still takes a lot of damage from MLG here.
Oh, and now Kana's here. Get away from my jungler, he says.
Big boy support actually coming to help, but Hey in the background as well, and that's still a Kronos. That's a Kronos with Polly, but seems to be backing. Stops their back as MLG is running at them once again. It's not quite out just yet. Hey, Cat over here as well. Cat, go to your wave, please.
Yeah, this is the perfect time for Cat to catch up on some of that farm. Just like you said, I don't think that Oleron will face a lot of pressure right now in duo lane. Could probably safely farm 1 to 2, maybe even 3 waves, get 1 to 2 levels online, pick up a camp, finish up their Spear of the Magus, and move on from there.
Yeah, I don't know if someone from Tron is calling Cat over to this fight right now, but I don't think Oleron, well, obviously the field is going to do a lot, but they've done 6,000 damage so far this game. In forms of damage, they're not going to do anything. Even Horus has done more so far. Please just farm up. You're not going to be useful for your team this level. If you farm, you might actually do something in the late game, as Oleron late game can pull their strings big time.
I agree. That's kind of one of the problems in this meta. There's so much fighting, and rotations are certainly a huge factor and a necessity, but pulling your ADC too early is a borderline war crime in Smite. There's so much value in being able to sustain through 5v4 fights and letting your ADC be the one to get big. We saw Roadhouse do that this game, and now it's paying off.
Yeah, MLG here in a bit of trouble. Gets grabbed up by Kana. Ultimate coming out from Kana as well, and it's actually Megatron up into the sky looking over the fight. I don't think they will go in. They do not. They decide to back off. Probably smart idea, but Flipping Nia's coming right after it. Missing this time, so no big plays just yet. Lots of damage there by the Colonels once again. Hey pumping out the Numbies.
Yeah, those are both of the Flying Jets ultimates down. This could turn into a Pyromancer falling down low so fast that Tron couldn't even respond. Roadhouse with the Pyromancer.
And now the only objective up for grabs is the Fire Giant right now. Do we see a pool, or are they wanting to go for picks first? It seems like they're just testing out the waters for now, not quite pulling it just yet. Pink's coming out here onto MLG, knowing that they are alone in solo lane, and it looks like they're all running at him now.
This is going to be an awkward fight. The split could be dangerous, but MLG is a bit scarily low. Honestly, I kind of am looking for both teams to reset, if not for one team to try to bait out the Fire Giant.
Yeah, Scythe coming out from Megatron there, doing a bit more poke damage onto Kana. And now they're still looking at this Fire Giant, just hiding behind the wall. Might be testing out the water still.
Yeah, right now, honestly, if I'm Tron, I'm sending Oleron mid right now to pick up some waves or solo. I'm trying to get my team farm. This dance is The dance isn't even that far on the Fire Giant, so I'm trying to just secure farm. And it looks like both teams are going to decide that's the course of action, and there was no reason to keep dancing there.
Yeah, lots of backs coming out as well. Just spending up a bit of the gold you've saved up. Still lurking around this Fire Giant. Of course, if you all leave at the same time, the other team gets it for free. That's the last thing you want to give up right now.
Up Thor ultimate here from Flippin' Ninjas.
Flipping
Who's he going to look
Ninjas.
for? Gonna land down on
Hay.
top of Hay and absolutely deletes the Chronos. See you later, Time Lord.
That's a big pick. Hay tried to go for the rewind. It just didn't go off in time. As Tol has the potential to just absolutely one-hit you. As, well, we got shown over here. And now the Fire Giant is being pulled. Fire Giant already around half HP. And no one from Tron even close. There is a Horus there, so they might decide to go for the ult. Does not look like it. Now KaT here as well. KaT going for the steal. Actually gets it. That's what we're talking about. KaT being absolutely massive with these mechanics, but just... Ooh, fight not over yet. MLG, you're low.
It's stunned out. It's stuck behind the wall. MLG gonna try to turn this fight around. Goes into rage form. Now the Ryzen ultimate comes out, but MLG's tanking most of it. MysticMegatron and DrJDM could probably go in and get the Soul Laner out. But if they're not gonna go in and get him out, then you've got to retreat.
What a... I don't like these calls. I think Tron goes in here and they win that fight.
I think so too. I think you go in, you try to support MLG, and I think you can turn that fight around. My biggest problem with that call, honestly, is if you're second guessing going in, or even if MLG is saying, I'm dead here, leave, go do something else. The left side of the map was open there. You could have started rotating early. You could have looked to push tier 1 mid or something. If MLG was going to fall, it's got to be for a reason there after such an easy secure.
Yeah, we also see MLG there 1v4ing, I believe, getting everyone pretty low HP while they're living for like a good minute. If you just get like your Thanatos or your Horus there to help you, I honestly, with all that I have, I think you win that fight.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with you, without a doubt. Now DrJDM might be in trouble, gets pulled in by KaT. Flippin' Ninjas is here with Jazz. MysticMegatron once again hanging out on the side, trying to look for the best opening. Hay here. KaT's here, noticeably up in farm from before. Spent a little bit of time in the left lane, which was a good choice. This fight's going to be a bit closer, but it's still advantage Tron, or excuse me, advantage Roadhouse, even with Tron having the Fire Giant.
But can we talk about how KaT might be 0-5 here, but I think they're gonna die though. Getting caught out here by Flipping Ninjas.
It was almost perfect. There was a wave there, but might have taken the wrong route, and now Flipping Ninjas is going to go up into the sky and look for a big ultimate.
They're looking
oh, the rewind already happened.
Rewind.
What a response from Megatron!
Great ultimate by the Thanatos here, actually saving the mid laner, getting a kill onto Flipping Ninjas themselves. Flipping Ninjas having 12 kills is a big pickup to get. You actually get a chance in this fight now. It's Painflick here being awfully low themselves already, and MLG being pretty close to them, but it's actually hasting inside of this ultimate for no apparent reason by Kana. It's Painflick ultimate coming out as well, just barely off the mark, but does not reach the Chronos up here. In the background, they will fall down towards Megatron. Megatron, of course, being able to see those low targets as the Thanatos passive requires you.
Go in,
MLG
Megatron.
blinking and just barely not enough. And ooh, big stuns by Hay here.
There it is, double kill for MysticMegatron. Exactly what we wanted, Jeffrey. Megatron making the play. He's going to go up in the ultimate.
Into the sky.
Looking for the execute. It's a triple kill for MysticMegatron.
It's a delayed triple kill by Megatron. 4 kills onto Tron here. And
huge.
What started out by looking like a very, very bad fight with Flipping Ninjas just getting a pick onto KaT and then immediately, well, dunking on top of Hay after the rewind was already over, turned out to be a very great fight instead.
That was so well played by MysticMegatron, completely turning that fight on its head. And we talked about it earlier. We wanted to see them play off MLG. MLG's putting in work. That's exactly what MysticMegatron did. MysticMegatron said, hey, you're in there deep, MLG. I got your back. Goes in behind the Kakolin, and look what it led to. One of the first fights that we've fully seen go Tron's way in what feels like 10 minutes.
Yeah, and I want to talk about if Tron flips this game around, as it looks like they might be doing. I want to say every single player in this team just deserves it. There's not a single MVP, and there's not a single player who didn't do anything. We're looking at MLG here as
Oh,
Gold Fury actually gets stolen.
That's a tough break.
That's a
At least
bummer.
it's primal if you're Tron. The gold's unfortunate, but you didn't lose Oni. You didn't lose gold. I've always felt like Primal Fury is the best buff to lose if it's going to get stolen. But what's dangerous here is the Fire Giant being completely left alone.
And I don't think they will be in time. It's
No
already
way.
falling below half HP. It's only MLG who
MLG's
can
close,
be
though.
there in time. Flipping Nias in the sky though will stun him out
No way.
probably. Dunking on top of the Fire Giant, it will not get stolen this time. And now it's MLG that might fall down. If MLG falls down, that's not a fight Tron can win anymore.
It was
As
so close.
EFG goes towards Roadhouse this time. But continuing my thought, I just want to say DrJDM actually was saving his team on countable occasions. Thanatos there getting a delayed quadra kill, I do believe. MLG just keeping the entire team busy all the time. Hey, pumping out all the damage that they can do. And UhhKatt, of course, stole that Fire Giant before. If Tron turns this around, well, they get the Pyromancy here, by the way. It's a team performance. There's not a single player you can leave out of that.
I agree, and in terms of defense, I really don't hate Tron's team for a strong defense here. You've got the Oleron ultimate, you've got Thanatos able to get rid of a tank fairly quickly. MLG showing that he can basically stand in the middle of 15 members and not die unless he gets caught out here, and he does. Flippin' Ninja's gonna look to secure the kill, has his whole team with him. MLG, though, still somehow taking all of it. Almost survives, but 4 people's just too much, and Kakulin falls.
Yeah, there's only so much the medication build can do for you right now, as only Hunter's Garb also just got finished. I think that would have helped him so much, as that item is pretty busted right now. But now they are in the graveyard for another 40 seconds. As I think Roadhouse just straight up goes towards a Phoenix here. They will get this tier 2 tower for free, I do believe. I don't think Tron will defend this. Looks like they might try.
They should probably leave here. I don't know if this is super worth it.
Shouldn't be here. Yeah.
That's gonna cost.
And that
cat
might
beads.
cost Horus. And it might cost Horus their life. They do still have to dash to go into the towers. Flipping Nias in the background going up into the sky. Flipping Nias actually hits Hay. Hay will fall down as DrJDM actually falls down in the background as well towards the tick damage. And now it's Megatron. And stepping up towards the tier 2 just lost in the game, as I do believe Roadhouse will end here.
Yeah, it was a really tough break. We're going to see a slight Titan defense here from UhhKatt. Nice ultimate, but they're just going to move the Titan out of the ultimate. UhhKatt doing everything possible, gets pulled out of the fountain, gets back into the fountain. Titan still full health. MLG's responded, doing some damage, actually defending quite well. Kana's falling low. Wilfie too. Flippin' Ninjas has to Aegis. Titan, quarter health. MLG killing Wilfie. They're off of the Titan. MLG with such a great defense. UhhKatt gets a kill. It won't matter in the end, but what a defense from Tron. After the huge misplay at tier 2, like Jeffrey pointed out, Tron gives it their all on the defense.
If only they did this under Phoenix, I think they might have turned it around.
Oh, that was so close. Honestly, that was kind of heartbreaking to watch. I really thought for a second Tron was going to pull that defense out of a hat.
Yeah, it might not look like it, but it was a pretty close game. And props to everyone. GG's. Is there anything you want to talk about in this post-game screen?
I mean, we talked a lot about Tron. It's because, you know, it's very important to talk about the small things that we see. But we didn't talk as much about Roadhouse. We'll have time to talk about them more in Game 2, but just going over a quick glance at performances, Wilfie, Flippin' Ninjas are huge standouts. Painflick played great on an off-meta pick, which is always important. Jazz was able to handle MLG in the solo lane, which, given the context of the late game, is pretty crazy because MLG was going nuts. And Kana on Atlas played Atlas the way you play Atlas. There could have been maybe some slightly better setup in the beginning, but mid to end, it was all there and it was all perfect. So great job from both teams, really.
Can I call someone out?
Of course.
Hey, having 0 wards is a problem.
Yeah, that's something that's becoming a bit of a theme, unfortunately, in Scouting Grounds. We've talked about it a lot, that individual performance is key in Scouting Grounds, but warding affects individual performance, because if you can't see the map, you can't really play around the map. And I suspect, had there been a couple wards here and there, those 10 deaths may have been more like 6 or 7, something more on par with like MLG or even Flippin' Ninjas.
I think Painflick placing down 19 wards of themselves and Hey placing down 0 might have been the difference between this game.
It's certainly an aspect to consider, and, you know, these teams, they get coaches, they get their scrims. So if Hay does find themselves on a team, I suspect that would be one of the first things corrected is everyone buying wards, having ward placements planned out during your scrims. So if I'm Hay and I'm watching these games back, I'm taking that as a mental note of, hey, that's probably not going to affect my draft, but that needs to be something that I personally address ASAP.
Yeah, like, don't get me wrong, Anthony. I've been praising Hay for all the games I've casted them so far. I just would like to help them. Like, keep it in your mind. Get the mental to actually buy them. It wins you games.
Mhm.
There's a reason why all the pros, all the content creators always say wards win you games. Anyways, these are your stats for game 1. I've been Jeffrey. I'm here together with Anthony, and we'll see you back in game 2 of this best of 3.
Taking shots at the enemy, I'm gonna make it to the top, leave a legacy. If I got something to say, you better let me speak. Turn it up a new degree, bitch, you ain't seen anything. I pop off with the new rock, electronic, blow the sonic roof up. I'm too honest when I take a few shots. They're too toxic, need to take a new song. And you cannot save me, cause I don't need saving. It's everything I've been chasing, all here for the taking. Don't wanna test your luck with me, I think I've had enough disease. I'm sick of all the bad thoughts, people who are half-nots.
You are not as tough as
I'm back, you know that I never left. I got tracks and some music that you never guessed. I don't slack, don't lose, learn your lesson yet. When I get to choose what I do, I'm like a weapon. I'm not as sharp as many, but got heart. I'm ready to change scars to envy, to win large and plenty. I like to play fast, never change back. Calling out, I'll pay back, cause I'm great at that. Oh, wanna test your luck with me? I think I've had it.
And welcome back to game 2 of this best of 3 between Tron and Groundhogs. As we see Freya here first ban towards, I believe that is Ground. I think they traded
Yeah,
sides,
they
didn't they?
did trade.
Anthony?
It's Roadhouse on your order side and Tron on the right side. I don't know where you're getting groundhogs from, but I think we're gonna have to have a groundhogs team on the next scouting grounds.
Yeah, I'm doing it on purpose. I'm just trying to entertain all the people watching. I'm definitely not just fucking stupid. I'm sorry for swearing, by the way, as well. I am so tired. Oh.
Oh boy, we're off to a really good start. Oh my god.
Should we talk about these bands, or am
We
I allowed to
probably
just
should.
complain
Go
about my
ahead, Jeffrey.
life?
Take us through the pit.
So pretty similar bands this time, except for no skipperonis. As well as we see Kronos being banned out this time. They do not want to give it again towards Hey over here, as they played it last game. Bit of a respect ban maybe, as they put up a lot of damage last time, but Fenrir stayed open this time, and it's an insta-lock here for flipping ninjas.
Yeah, that Fenrir getting through in a Divine Division scouting grounds is a bit frightening. I'm not gigantic on that pick making it through. I feel like that should be a priority ban, especially in some of these more mixed and spread out divisions with ranks, because Fenrir is a tough character to play around when you're a little bit less experienced. We do see an Oleron run back. I do wonder if that's going ADC again, or if we'll see a switch up, because we do see that the Kronos was banned out by Roadhouse, not wanting to go against Hay's Kronos again. So maybe Hay is feeling running those mage ADCs in the mid lane.
I would like to respect from UhhKatt to just run it back and show them, I had an off game, but I can still play this god.
I like that mindset too.
I think the salty runbacks work better if you actually lost and actually prove yourself to, I can actually do it. It's not me, I just had an off game. It happens. And well, they still stole Fire Giant. I don't think they did that bad. As on the other side though, we gotta talk about Churnanos being locked in here. Still probably a top 2 god for the actual physical hunters. What do you think about Churnanos?
I think Churnanos kind of falls into this really awkward spot of it's almost like an order of operations for the ADC role, right? Did the mage ADCs get banned? If yes, is Rama banned? Is Ishtar banned? Probably Ishtar, then Rama, then Churnanos. Unless you skip Churnanos and go to the ability ADCs, which sometimes we tend to see. A lot of times it'll go mage ADC, then Ishtar, then Rama, and then since Churnanos is nerfs, we see Churnanos get skipped over. Then we start to see something like a Chiron or an Uller, maybe a Neith. So it's kind of an awkward spot for Churnanos, who's still a fantastic character and kind of overlooked at the moment.
I like Churnanos. I think with the ultimate, like having able to polymorph multiple people at the same time, like that's so big. Like I don't think there are a lot of hunters who have a bigger teamfight ultimate than Churnanos does.
Yeah, that's also a very good point. The only one that comes to mind is Hou Yi, and as we know, Hou Yi is not currently being highly valued in the meta, which, not to get on the soapbox for a moment, but I think Hou Yi is very underrated in the current meta with the protection shred, with the ability to deal with crit. Obviously there's other reasons going alongside Hou Yi not being played, but like you said, big team fight ultimate, I kind of feel like it's an underrated pick right now that has a lot of niche value.
I think Hou Yi is underrated for sure, but Anthony, please don't say it too loud, because I am so happy as long as Hou Yi doesn't get played. I absolutely hate playing against Hou Yi personally, and, well, I am just happy to not see him, honestly.
I wonder if this will end up being... Sorry to interrupt you, but I wonder if this will end up being one of those metas where the mage ADCs get hard nerfed, almost similar to like a Season 6 or Season 7 type of thing, where the mage ADCs get hard nerfed, we start to see more unique hunters get picked up, and then everybody reads Hou Yi's kit again, and everyone's like, wait a second, protection shred? Wait a second, handles crit? Good escape? Nice rotation ability? Big damage late game? Lot of alleyways? Huge team fight ultimate? Wait a second.
You know, I'm actually looking forward to maybe Neve though. So it probably will be Cat actually switching with Hay here. To get the Neve into the dual lane here. But like I was saying, I actually, one of the next buffs that is coming, that's already been announced in the patch notes, is a pretty big buff towards Quinn size. So I'm actually looking forward to gods like Rama and Artemis being able to use it a bit more. And we might go away from the crit meta again, because, well, if your magical hunters gets banned out, you probably will go someone with crit or an Uller or a Chiron, like you were saying. But I still think the crit Aronius just do so much damage. But with a Quinn size buff, that might all change up again.
Yeah, it's easy to forget that Silver Branch still exists.
So for what?
It's easy to forget that like attack speed builds still exist and they go crazy.
Yeah, I was making a joke, like Silver Branch, not. Never mind.
Anyways,
Anyways,
I get it. We've been doing this for a while this week.
Yes. Anyways, Scylla being locked in here as the last pick for
I love that pick for Painflick.
the order side. Yeah, I am looking. I'm hoping to get my second pentakill of Scouting Grounds here, and preferably on I'm a Monster.
There was some the positioning was the biggest thing that stood out to me from Painflick. It was being really good. So I feel like put somebody like that on Scylla, and oh boy.
Yeah, Scylla obviously being Fafnir.
I think we had the same reaction to that being hovered.
Yeah, it gets locked.
That's exciting to see. I like that with 2 ADCs on your team and with the Neja. Honestly, that's a pretty nice pickup here for DrJDM.
Yeah, the Fafnir, it will mean that you have to get to late game once again, but Fafnir, it's a pretty juicy pick. Going back towards the Scylla though, with the I'm a Monster, I think it's the complete opposite of what a Raijin has to bring for you. So in game 1, you told me I would like to see something else as the Raijin in game 2. Well, I think you got something completely else here.
This is exactly what I wanted, and I'm pretty sure this is going to highlight a lot of Painflick's playstyle.
Yeah, Scylla obviously being the more meta pick right now with the traditional I can one-hit you with one ability, because, well, I mean, that's what one hit means. I like Scylla. I think she's great.
I do as well, and I think with that, we're all locked in. Everyone's ready to go. Our final game of the Scouting Grounds is ready and raring to go. We will meet you in game number 2.
Woo! Welcome back to game 2 of Roadhouse versus Tron. If I see the names in my screen, I can actually remember them. As we're doing things a little bit different here, I'm actually looking at the Chaos side, well, the solo lane side, Chaos, how are they going to start? It looks like they will go for the 4 buff start with the 3 of them. Probably the best start right now. What do you think?
Yeah, 100%. I don't think there's any other start that's valuable. I've seen, if you talk to Nooblet, you will get a different answer. Nooblet's got a pretty particular start. He likes to go in mid. I've also seen Venenu has a very unique start. But honestly, I think just keeping it clean, keeping it crisp with these randomized teams is the way to go.
Yeah. In Europe, we actually have a bit of a strat right now where the jungler starts on the other speed buff and brings it towards his, well, the speed buffs together, and then clears it with the red with the mid laner while solos the blue buff. It's a pretty good start as well, but, well, you have to know how to do it exactly, and then it might be better. It might also not be. I don't know. Here in mid lane, Flipping is in a lot of trouble, and he will fall down for first blood instantly, practically after watching it. Scylla not being able to provide a lot of support in this early game. Flipping is falling down. That's surprising to me.
Yeah, me too. It's yeah. I think it just was the positioning. I mean, the sash was really well done. It created some really nice setup for Olorun, but I'm just surprised to see it. MLG needs to play this wave a bit safer, I think.
Well, maybe, but he does have a lot of pressure now.
Never mind.
Yeah.
It looked... I got scared for a second. I felt like there might be an aggressive dash in, and now DrJDM is the one getting aggressed on. Falling low, has to go under the tower, but this could turn into a gank.
It very well might be, as Megatron is in this dual lane side, but there's Flipping as well, actually. Saw them a bit later, and they are looking for the actual gank right now as they jumping on top of Cat here. Brutalize coming out, Cat falling low as Kana will secure the kill for himself with the jump, and now it's actor DrJDM.
One basic, one
falling
basic.
1 HP. Yes.
It's always
Wolfie
stressful when it's one
the kill for
basic,
himself.
right?
Yeah, it's the worst feeling, and if you don't secure that for the rest of the game, you're feeling down. You're like, damn, I could have had one more kill right now.
Yeah.
It's very good for the mental of Wolfie to actually secure that kill and not let it get away.
Yeah, it's tough. And what I was saying about the soul lane is I was kind of worried MLG might dash in, play a bit overconfident with the lane, but now we're seeing MLG play it perfect and getting Jazz low. The pressure is totally in favor of MLG after not playing aggressive on the first wave. Look at all the pressure that was gained.
That's early game Kukulin for you, especially after this transformation. You can stop the clear, I believe, from the Guan Yu as well with the dash. You should be able to win lane pressure any day of the week.
Yeah, incredible.
Going for the mitigation build once again, this Kukulin, where we actually see the Guan Yu opting towards the X here. What do you think about that?
We might have to wait, Flippin' and just peek it over for a gank, but they're just a bit too deep under the tower. Flippin' and just will look to do other things, maybe try to secure the purple, and even maybe steal the jungle to add nothing's up. But what I think about the mitigation build right now, honestly, can't wait for it to be nerfed. It's absolutely one of the most ludicrous things I've ever seen in Smite. It's just out of control. There was a godlike game yesterday. Oh, God, play safe if you're Painflick. Ricochet off the Bastion, always scary. We watched Light Tunnel on Shiva go what seemed, I think it was 21-0 or 18-0 and something like that, and do 154,000 mitigated and just 1v5 in the Titan room. One of the most ridiculous things I've ever seen in this game. And I played through both the Bumbas meta and the Golden Bow meta, and it was just out of control.
I would like Dirty Bubble meta back rather than this mitigation meta. I think anyone who has listened to my cast, they probably know what I think about the mitigation meta, especially about that one single item. You know what I'm talking about, right?
I do indeed. Painflick getting low, but so was Hay. That was close. So why don't you take us through the item? I think we have time to hear your entire tinfoil hat story, Jeffrey.
Well, I think defense items that do damage. Well, Mystical Meal is one. Mystical Meal is okay. But please leave it at that. I forgot the name for a second of the item in question we're talking about. I don't know if you remember it by any chance, but...
Contagion?
Ooh, hold that thought. Yes, I mean Contagion. Hold that thought. Cat beats coming out, but just a little bit too late after the landfall secures them. There comes the Polymorph. Big trouble now as they will go down towards Wilfie here.
Nice play there, securing it. That was a tough fight. Now we've got a Horsey versus a man enraged, and Jazz gets the solo kill on MLG again, showing that they can handle somebody who plays so aggressive and so well in MLG.
that Guan Yu stun seemed to last forever over there, as they just barely secured the kill for themselves without dying. And now hold that thought, as it's actually the Fafnir here, falling down very low.
Nice juke. Aw.
Ooh.
It was
It's
close.
Kana securing the kill.
I respect those
Kana.
jukes.
We've seen a bit of a situation as well during these entire scouting grounds into this defined division, with supports getting a lot of early kills.
Yeah,
see Kana
it
here.
is becoming a big theme, huh?
Kana here already on 2 kills on this Maui. That means this landfall. It's not going to be fun to be playing against. Ooh, Beats coming out here from Hey, immediately ulting after it as well, and it's flipping Nia's falling low. Kill will not be just enough to confirm it, as they will jump out. Stay for now.
Yeah, it was a good escape. It was dangerous there. We see Oleron all the time pick up kills like that. Once that slows on, it's just so annoying to try to get away. One of the worst feeling ultimates in Smite to play against, and one of the best feeling ultimates to use.
And one of the things I would like about whenever these mage ADCs finally do get nerfed is not seeing Oleron anymore. Ooh, as Megatron actually, I think, got Painflick up into the sky with their ultimate, confirming the kill as soon as they land. Kana not being able to save the mid laner. And these bastions have been a great addition.
Wow!
Ooh,
Oh, he brought him
double
into
hit.
flipping ninjas, Jeffrey! Look at that!
What a play. I was gonna scream as well, but I can't match you. I can't match you. So I'll just keep quiet for now.
I think I
Anyways,
speak for both of us, don't worry.
great ultimate here by Kana with a good Ragnarok immediately after it as well, confirming the kill onto Hey here, but they're not done yet. It's actually Kana jumping in, Fafnir coming out with the ultimate, but I'm a monster, just barely not enough damage to get the reset off, but Flipping Nias will confirm the kill onto DrJDM here.
And that's going to turn into some jungle secure on the other side here for Flippin' Ninjas. Might even be able to find that speed buff. Very well done fight. The fact that Jim Kana on the Maui got that 2-person landfall, bringing them into Flippin' Ninjas, nasty. We talked about the Atlas really coming online late, but Maui is just a character that's built different, and it looks like Kana might be a support built different.
Yeah, great addition to be looking at, as well. They didn't get a kill this time, not quite the 3-0 just yet, but a 2-0 in 4 assists already as well, being there with almost every kill. I think only the solo kill into solo, they were not there, but every other kill so far in this game, this Maui was present.
You know, I like the Benevolence start too. Something we haven't talked about during Scouting Grounds has been the support starts. I think Benevolence is the better start on the majority of characters, contrary to popular belief, especially in what tends to be more Divine Division games where every character just picks up Sentinels. I really like Benevolence, especially on characters who are more aggressive. Your farm is just nice. The upgrades are spectacular. I really like it. And if there's a world where you can go heroism, it's rare. Don't get me wrong. Not the greatest item. Still works out great.
Yeah, I do. I think I kind of do agree with you. Even though I might not get it every game, I do play support myself. This Benevolence, you don't want to know the amount of times I had a Ra in my team, and I out-healed him as a Ymir because I had Benevolence.
Yeah, the numbers can be very, very spicy for sure. Big Oleron ultimate. Another good landfall too. I'm a monster. Follows up.
Ooh, just barely off the mark, not hitting Hey. Hey will fall down towards Flipping Nias, as it's Megatron up in the sky right now, but I don't think they want to be, so they're quite scary
Good
there.
split.
Full HP though. Good disengage as well by Roadhouse here. Recognizing,
Look at that peel.
well, Painflick, yeah, Painflick has no mana here. Flipping Nias not a lot of HP. Fafnir jumping out, so yes, the fight is completely over now. And it's a 1-4-0 for Roadhouse once again. It's 8-2 in 9 minutes now.
Oh, MLG falling really low. And here's the horse. I knew he was going to go for it. Can Jazz find under the tower? Yes, Jazz
yes, they can.
Wow. That's crazy.
Yes.
That speaks so much to the let's go!
Hey,
that speaks so much to the
calculated.
level of talent on a player like Jazz.
Here comes Hey.
Oh, can you survive the gank from Oleron, though? Doesn't know it's coming.
Oh.
No war. It's up. Gets away anyway. Very close call, without a doubt. But I know I said it earlier, and I'm going to repeat myself. MLG is an as an amazing solo laner. We saw it in game number 1. MLG almost saved the game at the end with the help of Cat, but Jazz, including in game 1, has just had a handle on MLG, which I think really speaks to the skill of Jazz.
Yeah, I'm rooting for Jazz here as well, because MLG got Contagion, so they're cringe. But they are a pretty good solo laner indeed. I can't go around the skill. They're just cringe because they got Contagion.
You really do not like Contagion. You know what?
I hate it.
You're consistent. Even post-nerf, you're consistent, and I respect it so much.
You wanna know something funny, Anthony?
Of course I do, Jeffrey. Hit me with it.
At one point, I was quite busy, and also Hogwarts Legacy just came out. So at one point, I hadn't played Smite myself in about 2 weeks, which might be a bit bad. But I got queued up with how things were going good enough, because I did still cast during that time. Anyways, I got an email from Hi-Res saying, "We miss you. Can you please tell us the reason why you left?" And I just feel all I fell into them was Contagion is an item in this game.
Oh, that's spectacular. That brings me back, honestly. Though I feel like the last I mentioned it before, kind of in passing. I think the last time we had a meta like that might have been Golden Bow into Fatalis meta. Those two metas back to back were just disastrous and so not fun to play in.
Yeah, there are a few that come to mind. Like, I think I mentioned the Dirty Bubble meta before as well. It's something that we don't want to go back to.
Two-man stun, Ragnarok holds in. Hey, I'm a monster waiting. Doesn't get the kill.
I think it did hit, but it's just barely not enough damage on. Hey, how are they alive? Once again, okay, apparently they live. Getting out under tier 2 now. Fight not over yet, as it's actually Kama being looked at here. Scylladesh being down. Landfall! Only hitting the Bastion. So, well, that's not going to matter that much anymore.
Very close.
Now it's Scylla Crush. Crush just tickling DrJDM over here.
Yeah, the build just not quite online yet for the Scylla. There was some trouble getting some farm early on with all the fighting in the lane, and it's proving to be a problem now. I feel pretty confident that Painflick's going to play through it. I mean, this Scylla is just a completely different character than Raijin, and come late game, you could play Scylla with a blindfold and do damage late game, and Painflick sees 20/20.
Yeah. Oh.
See? Got away.
Okay. Yep.
I put some respect on Painflick's name, and I foresaw that Sentinel coming. 100% calculated.
Psychic. Starting to sound like Cosmic now. Anyways, we're here in the mid lane.
Yeah, that fight calmed down quickly, huh? Go ahead.
Yeah, I thought something was going to happen, and then nothing happened, so I'm so sorry. My call just didn't make any sense whatsoever. So let's talk about what has happened so far in these scouting grounds. Can you tell me something like, we've seen a pentakill, we've seen a double quadra kill on both teams. What do you think is the most hype thing we've seen so far? My opinion, the base race.
Yeah, I'm a little biased towards the base race, certainly. I'm going to have to pause you as MLG. Can he survive the 1v2? Not
He
quite.
cannot.
Gets brought down by flipping ninjas. The base race was crazy. That whole set was insane between Lost Boys and Short Circuit. It was so close the entire time. Nobody had the advantage, really. And the games could have changed from any one minuscule difference. But the pentakill was crazy. Dark NMs is really going to be a high draft pick, I think. The quadras were crazy and plentiful, which gets me really excited for the season. And another thing that really stands out to me that might be the smallest hidden feature of the scouting grounds, as we get into this fight here in the mid lane, objective steals.
I think the one that comes to mind most is probably the Solar Flare from Joywolf. But we also saw a pretty good Spirits of the Nine win from C10 onto the Pyromancer earlier. I think it was in the first set that was played the Scouting Grounds, actually. Yeah, we've seen a good few objective steals. We actually saw one last game with Cat stealing the Fire Giant. Yeah, but objective steals, as much as I like them, to me it always also says something about the team actually putting the objective, because it just means a lack of secure.
Yeah, that's very true. I think what's been interesting to me is how plentiful the fighting is. Cosmic talked a bit about this in the cast yesterday of the last two godlike Scouting Ground sets, that it feels like this season the fighting is just out of control. Last season, there were games where it would feel like we'd be 35 minutes into a game and have maybe 5 kills total. And this season, you'll have some games that don't even hit the 15-minute mark where you're in double digits, if not getting close to triple digits in a couple cases. It's kind of crazy.
Especially the Divine games.
Yeah, which I love. Divine is we talked about it very early on that Divine is comparable to Challenger last season, which was arguably the most exciting division to watch, depending on your standpoint. And I think Divine's going to be pretty much the same exact story this season. I think the players there are just, they're different. They're hungry. They're new to competitive in a lot of circumstances. They want to show off. They want to play best. They're taking it incredibly seriously. Not to say that upper divisions aren't. It's just saying that the lower divisions, they've got a chip on their shoulder. They got something to prove.
Well, and what I like about Divine as well is not... Ooh, what I thought of Gold Fury already falling below half HP. I don't even think we saw it being pulled. Flipping Nia's blinking in, actually forcing the ultimate immediately by Hey, going into the Ragnarok himself, not biting anyone though, as they just decide to hop out for now. But now it's actually Tron that's not looking too healthy into this fight. Flipping Nia is coming back in the background, as it's actually Jazz here going pretty hot onto Megatron. Fafnir going up into the ultimate, jumping out or not going in here. As we see Contagion ticking down onto Scylla.
You've got the man advantage. I think you retreat here.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Both Landfall and I'm a Monster going down. As actually it's Wilfy picking up the first kill of this fight for themselves. Flipping Nia's going down into the red HP. Specking on the XP camp as Gold Fury is being pulled here, but it's Hey close and it's MLG close. They don't get this for free.
They gotta play it safe. Gold Fury down a quarter health. MLG here. Roadhouse has gotten a Gold Fury. What will the cost? Jazz falling low. Wilfy gonna look for the play here. Has Kana in the front. Megatron blinks in. Sash beads from Wilfy. Survives it for now. Now Horsey 4-man stun. And now Kana looking to make a play, and Painflick just around the corner.
I think that's the stun from Jazz here might have just saved their entire team.
Oh, Flippin's in the back now.
They're actually not over yet. Flipping in the back indeed. Ragnarok coming out after the sash. They will probably get Hey here. Yes, they will. But will they die for it?
Oh no!
Ah, Naja ultimate just off the mark. Will fall down towards the polymorph from the Churnanos here because of it. And now it's actually Roadhouse on the chase again.
Windfire Wheels led to the Windfire demise there for Naja. That was a really tough ultimate. The thought process was there. If it lands onto Flippin' Ninjas, you might actually do it in a double kill, but it ends up in a death. Now Kana getting low, getting poked out quick. Wilfy and Kana going to have to retreat, and quickly. Thankfully, the rest of their team got out plenty safe.
Yeah, well played indeed. We see the experience difference here, by the way, at 6,500, 3,500 gold difference. 13 to 2 kills. As much as this last game was pretty close, it's not that close this time. But can we talk how Kana here on the Maui is keeping up in levels with their mid laner?
Yeah, that is... It's telling, but I mean, if you look that Oleron and Hey, Oleron and Hey are the same person. Hey and Painflick are on par with each other, and like you said, Maui's caught up, and even the Fafnir is caught up. The farm discrepancy this game really can be solely pointed at Wilfy on the Churnanos. Now Pyromancer down to quarter health, going to be contested, but Roadhouse gets secure, and Landfall pulls in too and brings them to Wilfy, who's dealing damage.
The other one all just a little bit short as Ragnarok coming out now.
Ragnarok!
MLG here. Big here by Wilfy. Because that's the solo laner down. That's your big tank down. You only got Fafnir now to actually peel for you. And it might be Roadhouse looking here for more. They're hungry. As this tier 1 tower looks juicy. Wilfy is there, so this tower will fall down very quick. Although not having the ultimate to their arsenal right now. It's actually the support here looking in a bit of trouble. Fafnir trying to jump out, getting a stomp as well, but now it's brutalized, going up into the sky, getting 3 men in his ultimate, jumping out, bit of tick damage, nothing much, but now is it actually your mid lane in a bit of trouble? Naja going in, Naja going up into the sky. That is Painflick dead.
But now the key here for Megatron is to get out. Jeffrey, Flippin' Ninjas is around the corner, and they don't know. MLG, that was in the back, and gonna look for a Wilfie, and that's huge damage gone, but Flippin' Ninja's gonna look for the return jump, finds DrJDM and gets a kill on MysticMegatron. Now finds a double kill on DrJDM, but falls to Hay, and Wilfie is trying to survive and lifestealing like crazy off of MLG, but it's not quite enough, and MLG gets a big shutdown gold from killing the Kernanos.
What a fight that was, as Tron actually looking for a first fight this game that they won. Got a lot of help from Tower there, and MLG with the best rotation I've seen so far in this set, probably. Going behind them and absolutely causing havoc and chaos over there. We see the spike in both XP and gold going, well, you see the spike in your screen going very back down towards chaos.
We going south.
It's still in favor of Roadhouse, of course. There's still 10 kills ahead, like a few towers ahead. But it's a good start for Tron if they want to try and go back in this game.
Yeah, I completely agree. That fight was game-changing. MLG, again, proves to be a difference maker in the team fights, which is crazy because, again, MLG had a tough time, but staying even in lane. They did fall a couple times solo. I think it speaks to both of these solo laners' skill, really, at how they're both impacting things. And Flippin' Ninjas, we mentioned it in Game 1. Can we talk about how nasty Flippin' Ninjas has been on jungle?
Yeah, we can.
It's been gross. It's been effective. It could be the end of MLG this case. Horsey, and the Ragnarok. No blink required. There it is. There is the finish. Who gets the basic? It's Flippin' Ninjas. Flippin' is looking for a stat pad. 8 kills.
Flipping deserves that kill after Jazz just missed their ultimate by a little bit on the Guan Yu. That's not an ultimate you should be missing, but Gold Fury.
Oh, they let it go.
However,
they're going to go for the kill on Kana instead. Kana gets rooted, but there's just nobody here to really make a difference. Painflick and Flippin' are rotating as well, and they're going to rotate behind.
Tron having a bit of a lack of water. They have a few around them, but not enough. Got scared off by just Kana showing up, even though it was, like I'm saying, just Kana at all at the Gold Fury. I think they could still confirm that pretty freely. Landfall does a lot of burst damage, but not more than, for example, a Neve burst would do if you put down the Weaver and then you won. And now it's actually Roadhouse looking at this Gold Fury instead. It gets burned so quickly because of this frenzy. I thought for a second MLG actually stole it there. He did not. It did fall down towards Roadhouse. And now it's Tron looking for a fight.
And doing damage indeed. Megatron goes in the back looking for Painflick, trying to take a still out of the fight. Instead finds a Kernanos. I'm a monster in response. Gonna look for some return damage onto MLG, but MLG tanks right through it. Flippin' Ninjas picks up Hay. Double stun in the back. Flippin' Ninjas now falling low. Landfall does not bring in Cat. Megatron gonna find Flippin' Ninjas, and MLG is blinking back to the fight as Megatron is not done fighting and wants more damage.
Now it's Kana is probably going to be the next victim as they're still looking at it. It's only Kana and Jazz in this fight as Scylla is inside of the base. No help from the mid laner and it's 4 against 2. However, a lot of mobility. Think they are out for now. A great Sash could still kill them, but the Maui living. Okay, Maui getting out.
How did Painflick survive that fight?
Good question. I don't know.
I thought for sure the Scylla was going to fall. I mean, the I'm a Monster, it wasn't even fully used as an escape. Painflick turned around and used it as damage and still survived somehow.
Yeah, MLG might have, I don't know, thought someone else might have been there, didn't want to trade the life out for the Scylla. I think they have to go a bit deeper than they actually get it, but now Painflick. Damage might be online, but they're taking much more than they're doing right now. As it's actually Roadhouse on a lot of low HP health bars here. Yes, you get MLG low as well, but it's both the Guan Yu and the Scylla here of less than half HP. Still putting the Pyromancer though is Roadhouse. A bit of a disrespectful play if you ask me.
I kind of like it. Assert dominance with the hook.
Blink Ragnarok coming out. Biting down on Hay. I'm a monster. Kill falls down before I'm a monster connects. I would have given that to the Scylla, giving them XP and a reset. However, a kill was a kill, but Scylla will fall down. No, they will not.
Great Sentinel.
Okay, MLG in rage from now, looking at Flipping Ninjas here. Flipping Ninjas actually jumping in, not scared whatsoever. It's Guan Yu coming down with the horse as well to get the stun. Landfall. MLG being looked at. MLG finally falling down. Now it's actually DrJDM here. Low HP,
It's a split
might
call.
be the next target. But no, Flipping Nia is still going deep on side of the rest of the team.
Wow,
On the
they
right
don't
here.
kill DrJDM.
I think a bit of miscommunication here.
Yeah. It looked like Jazz even turned around, kind of looking like, guys, hello? But they were trying to aggress onto the squishies on Tron instead of chasing DrJDM, which, I mean, look, that play could go both ways. I mean, in theory, both ways work out, but I think I like going with Flippin' Ninjas onto the squishies. Ninjas is doing damage.
Yeah. Well, at least they get the Pyromancer after. They still won the fight. I just think it could have been a bit better.
Yeah, I do agree with that. What I'm curious to see now is we've seen these last few fights while Roadhouse is definitely taking the advantage in fights, Tron consistently turns the fights on their heads. What's going to happen at the next Fire Giant? Will Roadhouse actually have enough damage and secure to get the Fire Giant, or will it just be another case of MLG running house?
Well, I mean, Painflick might be a little bit behind, but I still think I'm a Monster outsecures any other ability in this game if they time it correctly. However, do you need to secure if you just kill everyone else first? As
True.
Roadhouse have, well, especially Flipping Nias here, already 9-3 in 7, has been an absolute killing machine. Wilfie getting kills off himself, only 2 kills behind. Do have a death less, so, you know, turns the checks out. Both on level 20 already as well. On the other side, it's only Megatron hitting level 20 himself, 26 minutes in, but Flipping Nias actually going low here.
What?
Absolutely executing Megatron here with the Ragnarok. I did not expect that to do
I've
that
never
much
seen
damage. And now in the tower, MLG is the next target. I'm a Monster just barely off the mark. Vector going into the ultimate now as well. And did they overstay the welcome as they were tower diving? No. DrJDM actually misses their ultimate. It's a bit of a shame. And now, what are you doing there, Kana? You're alone against full. They did not go for it. And now Roadhouse creeping up again. It's 5 against 4 now.
I think you back up and get fire here. I don't think you fight it tier 2.
Oh, landfall. Great beat by Hay. That's a very hard ability to beat. The landfall.
That keeps him alive right there. Instead of going for the fire, Flippin' Ninja's is going to go around the back on the full health tier 2. I'm not sure if I'm huge on this call.
Less than half HP at tier 2 tower. I don't think you want to dive that right now with 3 people standing under it. And not the worst gods, to say the least. As we're saying here, Neve can absolutely, well, blow you up. It's kinda in a bit of trouble, maybe. Falls down below half. There's still a tank at level 16. They do not die that quickly.
Yeah,
But the Fire Giant.
I think this is a tough call from Roadhouse here. I honestly think they could have gotten fire at least to a quarter health, and now they have MLG blinking onto Wilfie instead.
Blinking onto Wilfie, stopping their back. I would have gone fire if Wilfie actually backed here.
Yeah, it's going to be a close fight for sure.
Uh-oh. In the back, Kana will fight onto Megatron as the first kill in this fight. Was still low from last fight, so it's an expected death to happen. And they're looking towards Fire Giant now. It's already being pulled. They're doing Rep Buff while the Fire Giant is being pulled. I'm not sure about this.
And a
actually
Ragnarok.
Flipping Ninjas not in the fight here. Going all the way towards mid lane while Fire Giant's still being pulled. It's very low, below half HP.
Oh, they could steal this.
Uh-oh.
Roadhouse got it!
Crush stole it. Scylla with a massive crush actually stealing the Fire Giant. Double kill here by Jazz, I do believe. As 4 people fall down towards Tron and it's only Megatron having to back to base, being the only one alive.
Wow.
And it's 3 against 1, but with FG towards Roadhouse, who is on free, will probably get this tier 2 tower for free now. Might even be looking at a bird.
Wow.
Yeah, they got minions. This should be a bird.
That was crazy. Painflick turned that fight around by getting that steal, and Flippin' Ninjas really started everything off by securing MLG. It looked questionable at first, but the fact it turned into a steal is huge. They could look to end here, Jeffrey.
Ooh, I'm not sure about this.
It's going to be close.
Titan is being attacked. It's everyone from Tron is
they're
about
here.
to respawn.
Get out of
already
there.
2 respawning there. MLG going towards the ultimate, knocking up 2. Fafnir going in the ult as a response though. But there is Oleron as UhhKatt will actually secure kill onto Flipping Nias. That's pretty big for them. That will give a lot of gold and XP. Helping them towards this level 20. Now, Jess.
Nice portal there from Ghana.
Kudos towards this towards Maui inderdaad hier, well, kind of on the Maui here. A lot of people actually don't use the teleport all that much from Maui. This is a great example of when to use it. Ooh, Megatron going in here hard, but actually a good beat by Painflick. Make sure they do not go up into the sky with the Windfire wheels. Now,
again!
Landfall hitting too. I'm a Monster coming out just off the mark, but there is the Windfire wheels from Naja in the air. Does not secure a kill onto Wilfie. H is coming out, so they will live for now, but it's still a giant Scottish man on top of them. Celtic, I'm so sorry.
Celtic, Scott, doesn't matter if you're dead to Crush. Painflick gets a huge kill onto MLG. Gonna look for more. Wilfie frontlining and doing damage, but the Sash helps get the kill for Cat. Huge pickup onto the Kernanos. Who's next?
Next seems to be Hay, actually, for the flipping Nias back into this fight. It's first Painflick here in the back falling down, but yes, it will be Hay falling down towards flipping Nias. Flipping Nias respawned, was back into that fight, and well, they turned the fight for the better for Roadhouse, as they actually end up with a 2-for-2, I do believe, in the long run. Well, if you count the base race, of course, Flipping Nias died as well, but I'm not sure if you can call it the same fight still.
They did catch MysticMegatron before. The backflip and Ninjas is here too. MysticMegatron gonna fall. Nothing you can do to that damage from Fenrir with the Heartseeker included.
Yeah. By the way, now I'm looking at the builds. This is the one thing I kind of want to talk to you about is Cat here. I thought they were going for the one-hit build, but they kind of went for a Hunter basic attack build instead halfway through. I'm not a big fan. How about you?
We'll have to wait to see what happens with this Primal Fury. DrJDM can look the steal here. Tron gets the steal! Gorgeous steal. DrJDM leading the way on that one. We talked about it. Primal Fury, probably the least valuable steal, but it matters, and that gold is useful, especially when you find yourself defending. But to answer your question, I think what tends to happen with ADCs is when you're really behind and you're getting outmatched in your lane, and you're playing an ability hunter, sometimes something a lot of more inexperienced players will do is they'll try to differ up their build to match something they feel they're lacking. I think in this scenario, Cat felt like she was lacking in attack speed and maybe even survivability with lifesteal, so went for a form of a hybrid build. I can kind of see what they were going for. There's penetration with the Atalanta's bow, there's some movement online, you have the Keens, you have the Aussie. There's definitely a thought process there. I think the problem is you're lacking of too much of both things, and you kind of need to center it around. So I do see the mindset, but I think it could have been a much cleaner build.
Yeah, I think commitment is better than changing it up. Although I do indeed like the adaptability to actually go for something else mid-match. On Neve, I don't think it works.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's a tough spot to be in. You want to make sure you're doing the most for your team possible, but it just wasn't there. What the
talking about
what in the damage? Flippin' Ninjas just deleted the knee thanks to the Heartseeker, and I'm a monster. Hits just doesn't find the kill. Now Aegis comes out. Flippin' Ninjas has a double kill. What else can they get? They're looking for MLG. Will they find it?
If he dies, this end. Yep. He does die, and now it's just Megatron and DrJDM against 4 of Roadhouse here. Might go for the fire first.
It's gonna be, yeah, this is gonna be a clean fire, clean call for an end. They can push right through mid. This is dangerous for Tron. They gotta try to two-man defend this.
Half a minute before anyone is alive again from Tron here. DrJDM looking for another steal like he just did on the Primal 4. He'll be a bit late this time. Yes, Hammer coming out just a little bit too late, and now they are the next target for a kill here, maybe. It's Flipping Nias certainly does look like they are going for it. Ragnarok can be up any moment now. Kinda helping their Hunter to come a bit closer. And there it is, Blink Ragnarok. Beats coming out from Megatron here though, saving their life, and it's Fafnir going up into the sky. I think this bird fall down. Yeah, bird will fall down in seconds. As it's Hay doing everything in their power to try and help the team survive, as they will get Jazz because of it. It's a pretty big pickup, but will it be enough?
This is going to be a tough defense this way, but they've got 5 members up. The problem is Painflick's on the way. They got to kill everybody else before Painflick gets here, or they're going to have a lot of damage on the way. Flippin' Ninja's waiting around the back. Landfall brings in 2, and Flippin' Ninja's goes in the back, but the target selection wasn't quite there. Couldn't find Megatron, who's low. Painflick, I'm a monster, gets the kill on MysticMegatron. Gonna look for more. Finds DrJDM, just needs to clean it up, but the abilities don't quite hit.
I'm a monster finally getting a kill, as now they're 2 for 1 so far. They did lose Jazz with Fire Giant. That's pretty big. Oh, Flippin' Ninja's in the back. Might be looking, probably switching towards Hay here as the Aegis is already down. Yeah, will get Hay before they get critted down by this Oleron. Yes, Oleron is a mate that can crit, of course.
Here
now
we
they
go.
Might be looking at the end.
This is a tough defense, but they're
Ragnarok
all pretty
coming
low.
out again. Get falling down, and now it's just MLG against the 4 of Roadhouse. MLG does get help from the Titan, but MLG will fall down, and I think this might be game. This should be game. This will be game. D aside, game 2. It's a 2-0. GG.
GG to the Scouting Grounds with a fantastic, fairly back and forth performance at the end. The victory ultimately goes to Roadhouse, but fantastic performances all around from all 10 players and all over 150 players for this Scouting Grounds, without a doubt.
Yeah, this was the last set we were going to cover as casters for you for the Scouting Rounds. Do you want to see more? Of course, go into the Discord. Link should be in the description of this video you're watching right now. And well, any day now, we could get the announcement of what the final teams will be. The captains saw everything they wanted to see, and I'm so excited to see what they will pick up.
Yeah, I can't wait. It's going to be an insanely exciting draft. Everything has taken a step up this season, from the players to the casting to the production overall, and it's going to be a draft to remember leading into what will definitely be a season to remember, and I wouldn't be surprised to see any of these 10 players in this season, Jeffrey.
I do agree. Although if Hay gets drafted into a team, I hope the captain tells them to buy wards, as they have 0 wards once again.
Yeah, 100%.
Anyways, folks, thank you so much for watching the Scouting Grounds. I've had a lot of fun. How about you, Anthony?
I've had a fantastic time. This has been an absolutely fantastic experience. Everybody from players to casting, production, LCs, Discord staff has been fantastic. And like I said, this is going to be a season to remember, and I think I can speak for Jeffrey and I both when we say we cannot wait to see you in Season 2. So I think I'm going to yoink this sign off because I'm feeling emotions today. So I've been Anthony Mellum. We had Jeffrey. So far, this Scouting Grounds, your production teams consisted of I, Nooblet, Phoenix, D-Lo, Jeering Lamb, Cosmic, Warrior, King, Fisher, and so many others involved behind the scenes in making things happen. Powa, especially, we're going to miss you. I was saving Power for last. Power will not be a part of the casting team for the majority of the season, should be back in time for playoffs, and we certainly hope to see you then. Until then, be safe, Power, and be safe to you too. We cannot wait to see you in the draft, and we cannot wait to see you in the season. We'll see you next time on the Smite Draft League.